Hey, you guys. How is everybody? Okay, it is 8 o'clock. Let's do this. Yes. Let me see. Did I hit record? I promised I would record this for some coaches. So how is everybody? Truly, is life crazy? Beth, did you go to work today?
No, I was actually off work today, but I've gotten tons of Beachbody work done. So
Woohoo! Okay. I love it. I love it. So will they be open this week? Like, will y'all be open?
yeah, as far
Yeah.
as I know, I'm
Yeah.
not sure. Our sales have already tanked.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, okay. I was just thinking about everybody. Kyla, is that how you say it? Kyla? Gotcha. Okay. Nice to see you on here. I am Rachel Mitchell. Hey, Suzanne. I am Rachel Mitchell. You guys are Abby's my success partner. So if we have not met before, you guys, as you're hopping on, if you're watching this recording, I told her she wanted to invite her team to this. And something we are doing a couple of times a month is I'm going to mute you guys right now so it's not too noisy. But a couple of times a month, our team decided it'd be really good to have just like working team calls where I'm not teaching, somebody's not training. It's just us like sitting down and doing some work. And I want to start this call with, we'll close it with prayer, but I have actually been praying for this call. I'm praying for you guys before I hopped on, just that, whoever wanted to work the business would show up tonight. Whoever had some goals for this business and wanted to serve some women would come on here and be ready to take some action, because like I am telling you that it is a weird time. Like you guys know that. But like as a coach, I've been a coach for 5.5 years, going up. Yeah, 5.5 years. And it is just an odd time. And I've been through some stuff. But this is definitely unlike anything that I've ever been through before. And if you're in that phase 2 group, I gave you guys this huge pump up a message today in a video, but I don't exactly know what this is going to do for our business. I don't know exactly. I know we're at right now what we are called to do, and that is to serve people through our social media, through our challenge groups, through our coaching community, like whatever it is. So tonight, like I really want to encourage you, like first of all, let me ask you tonight, like, do you know what you're inviting to? This is going to be a working call. Hey, Jade, this is like inviting and following up. So tell me, you can unmute yourself or you can type in the chat bar, like tell me what you're inviting to first of all. And if you don't know what to invite to, like let's clear that up first, because I'll tell you, here's my focus this week. My focus is to just kind of meet people where they're at. Like I'm not going to stop posting about my challenge groups. I'm not going to stop posting about what I'm doing. It's going to shift a little bit, but I am still going to be inviting people very heavily for a couple of reasons. One, people need what we have to offer you guys. Like they need this. People are at home. Some people don't have anything to do. Some people are without their gyms. Some people are, like honestly very anxious and very nervous. Even my own challengers. Like I've been talking to a lot of my own challengers and they're like, Rachel, I've just been so nervous this past week. I haven't done anything and I'm just eating all the food. And my job as their coach is not to be like, oh, I'm so sorry. It's to be like, stop that. Okay. Stop, snap out of it. Like, let's get moving, get on a Zoom call, like send them a message, send them a voice memo, say, put the cookies away, throw them away. Right. That's my job. And so like, I want to serve the people that I have in my community already. And I'm doing that well, but we also have an obligation to serve people that aren't in our community yet, right? So there's a lot going on. We have 10 rounds that launched today. Coaches can sign up for that. So, like if you haven't signed up for that, if you intend to do that, like that's a really easy thing to do. If you have the funds, like go unlock it, talk about it in your stories. I had a bunch of coaches on our team sign up for it. And so like, I just shouted them all out in my stories today, and I'll be doing those workouts off and on, even though I'm not committing to that yet fully. So that is where I'm at. But I'm also, honestly, the biggest thing that I'm inviting to this week is 10 rounds and then that Sweat for Sanity group. So you guys saw that I created that free group where I am just like literally giving them 10, we have those sample workouts for Team Beachbody that they don't have to even, like I used to have people create a free account. That was kind of a mess. I really just want to serve people. Like, I really just want to serve people right here, right now. And I know that, like, long term, that's going to pay off in my business. I'm not doing it selfishly, but I know that when we serve people in this business, that our business grows. And so, like, I am just giving away free workouts. I get put a free meal plan in there. I didn't create any of it. Somebody else created it and I just put it in there. And so, like, all I did was create the group and I talked about it on my social media. So I have a lot of success right now talking in stories. So I shared, if you guys didn't see those stories I put up yesterday, I can share those with you again. But, you know, just saying, hey, I know this is a crazy time. I know that people are anxious. I know that your gyms are closing, yada, yada, yada. Like, I want to serve you right where you're at. Would it help you if I put together a 2-week group where I could give you 10 workouts and 2 weeks of meal plans and we could just hold each other accountable? And I just put polls in there, and I want to show you guys, those stories have gone away right now, but I'll show you how I would invite from those stories as well. So that's what I'm inviting to. I'm also inviting to 10 rounds, and I always am inviting to, like, just my general full life challenge group, full life project, and coaching. So that's a lot. But what are you guys inviting to right now? Somebody, you can unmute yourself or chat. Let's see. You guys are chatting. Okay. Suzanne's inviting to Sweat for Sanity and Full Life Project for sure. Yeah, like, honestly, Suzanne, don't worry about 10 rounds right now. That's, you know, you don't have to. Sasha, Sweat for Sanity and Virtual Wellness. Okay. All right. So, you guys can tell me too, as we keep going. Okay. So I am just, honestly, I'm not going to do a lot of talking tonight. We're just going to work. And so, like, I have these sample invites that I send to people, and I am just going to, last week you guys talked about, connecting and building the relationship, right? Following people and connecting and building that relationship. And so tonight you should have a list, if you're tracking, of people that you have been building a connection with, right? So one of the ways that I do that is I track in Teamsy. I do pay for Teamsy. You don't have to pay for Teamsy. I didn't for a long, long time. But I just go through my list and I keep up with people that I have been talking to, and it prompts me to follow up with people. You can do the same thing in Google Streak. So here's my follow-up list. I have a really long follow-up list right now, honestly. But what I would do personally is I would go through and I would look for people that I have already been building the relationship with. And I would, so right here, I've got Emily. And I just make notes on these people as I go through. This is how I built my business from year one. And this is how I still do it. I'm always adding new followers. I'm connecting with people who are new followers, who are watching my stories or who are liking my posts. And I'm genuinely building that relationship. And then I'll go back, and this is what I will send to people. So, like, what I want you to do right now is I want you to go to those conversations, to your tracker, to people that you followed, people that you have been building that relationship. And I want you to send what I call a sorry invite. And I have this saved in my my quick replies in my Instagram. And so, like, I would just go to this person and I would start, hold on, I can't unlock my phone. Okay. This works really well for me. The sorry invite works really well for me. And I always personalize it a little bit. So let me go find this person that Emily. She is Emily Byers. Okay. She's an emergency medicine doctor. So what I'm going to do before I actually go and invite her is I'm going to go like and comment on some of her posts first. So, you know, I'm going to build that relationship a little bit more. Okay. And then I'm going to go send this message to her. Let's see.
I'm sorry. It's worked really well for me too.
Oh, hey, girl.
Hi. I'm here.
Pop in whenever you want to. Or anybody, share anything that's working really well for you right now. Let's see.
You might have mentioned this already, Rachel, but I did a video on my team page earlier today, so some of you guys might have seen it. But one of the things that I'm really focusing on this week also, if you feel like you don't have people to invite necessarily, is I'm going through and just doing a very, very genuine, like, how are you doing? Like, how are you feeling about stuff? And that's been a really good just conversation opener. I do homeschool my kids, and so like a lot of my moms that follow me, I'm like, here's a couple of my favorite sites to follow for like preschooler activities. Keep your like just serving people in this time. So if you don't feel like you have people to invite, go open up conversations, because everybody wants to talk about how they're feeling about stuff, and this is really your chance just to be a light and an encouragement to others. And so I'm focusing on that, and I'm focusing on going through all of my challengers, because quite honestly, it can be really easy just to sometimes let those people slide and focus on new people and just checking in with them. And so this is our time to like serve big time.
Okay, so I'm going to share my phone screen with you guys. Well, maybe. Do you guys here? I'll leave that up. I'll leave up the invite. Well, let's see if I can get this to pull up. So I can even just tell you. So basically what I did with this woman, that girl on my follow-up list, is I went back to her page first, and I looked to see like what was going on with her. And I commented on one of her more recent posts, and I, instead of just saying, hey, sorry I haven't invited you yet, like I started with, hey, that I had commented on her post, and I said, that dress that you had on was gorgeous. And I said, did you rent it or did you buy it somewhere? Okay, so I genuinely connected with something on her page. And guys, this takes a little time. It takes a little practice. And you might be like, Rachel, you're so good at this. Abby, you're so good at this. Well, we weren't in the beginning, honestly. Like we had to figure out how to do it at first, just like you. So like I have just honestly, like I love connecting with people. I love building that relationship now, but it was really hard in the beginning. So this is what I said. I said, oh my goodness, your dress was so gorgeous. Did you rent it or buy it somewhere? And she's going to know what I'm talking about because I just commented. And how are you guys holding up this week? It's wild, isn't it? Like just exactly what Abby just said. And then I just said I wanted to reach out and sorry I haven't invited you before and yada, yada, yada. To invite you to my Full Life Boot Camp. Full Life Project Boot Camp. If not, that's totally okay. I'm just always glad someone asked me. And so that was very, very genuine. That was very, very, like, I connected with her first, really have built that relationship a little bit before I would ever invite. But here's the thing, like if I am posting, if I'm sharing my story, if I'm sharing other people's stories and I'm present on social media, like I honestly feel like we have to be afraid not to invite. Like I think that we need to feel like it's disingenuous. How do you, did I say that right? I don't know if I said that right. It's not genuine and it's inauthentic not to invite people. So I am very bold about doing this every day. Okay. So do you guys have any questions or are you just inviting?
I wanted to ask a question. In the sorry invite, it says boot camp. Do you interchange whenever boot camp with challenger group?
I just when I use that one, it said would you like more info about my Full Life Project boot camp? Because that's like my ongoing, like the one that's always open. Now if I wanted to, if she was watching my 10 round stories, then I could say, would you like more information about this Worth the Fight, 10 rounds boot camp? So I'll change it just depending on what they're watching, how they're engaging. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, like that middle part is like, would you like more information about my boot camp? And then I end it with a very specific thing that I'm inviting to. I would never just say my challenge group or something. I have really found the value and power in branding, even your challenge groups and what you're inviting to. So like, I'm not just running a 10 rounds challenge group. We're running a worth the fight. Like that's what it's going to be called, worth the fight. And it's, we have a specific focus. So I feel like if you say that over and over, then people, oh, Rachel invited me to her full life project, like she's always talking about that, right? So that does work well for me. I don't know, I think Abby kind of has the same experience.
Yeah, I brand like our 10 rounds group it's called She Is Fearless. I should remember this. She Is Fearless. Yes, I'm talking about that. And then I have our like ongoing group, the same thing. And I will just invite people based off of what they're watching, what they're engaging on. But I don't do cold invites if I've never talked with them before either. So I'm usually the first person to extend. And then I do have, Rachel might have mentioned this already because I clicked on a few minutes late, but I have a collection saved on Instagram, one that's called Dream Coaches and one that's called Dream Customers. And so when I stumble across a gal who I'm like, I just really love her account and I really want her, I save her there. And then when I'm going and like engaging with people, those are the first people that I check in with to see, do they have a new post or do they have stories up? Like it just keeps me a little bit organized to know that those are the people that I really want to keep tabs on. So.
Can you explain what the collections on Instagram is?
Yeah, so when you go to an Instagram post, there's that save flag. Like, I don't know if you can see it. Rachel could share her screen, but there's
I'll share.
You can save a post. And when you save a post, it brings up, it asks save to a collection. And when you click on that, you've never had a collection before. Oh, there's Anita.
Yeah.
You can do like add a new one, or if you already have a collection, you can have one there. So like I have my collections are Dream Customers, Dream Coaches. I have one, guys, that's called Pose Ideas because I do all my own pictures and like it doesn't come naturally to me. So I've saved where I'm like, oh, I love that pose. So those are things that I have saved in my collection. So when I'm doing, Rachel probably does the same, but it's really easy and it just kind of keeps it organized for you.
Yeah, I'm going to show you. So this is our friend Anita, but I'm just going to use her post. See that little flag to the bottom right of her photo? If you hit that and you go to save to collection, like you can create a collection, or like I have these two, like I have Mom Challenger Prospect, I have Dream Coach, I have Coach Invite posts. Like I like the way that some other coaches word things. I have C.S. Lewis quotes. Those are things I can share to my stories, like my old posts that do really well. Like if they pop up in my history, I even save those because like if I like the wording of those things, I can save that to my old post. And then if you want to find those to go back to build relationships and stuff, wait, where is that? Saved. It's under saved. If I'm on my homepage and I clicked on those three bars at the top right and I go to saved and I can find my collections. And like, so if I want to engage with people who are, moms and challenger prospects, all I have to do is go back to like their post and I can go to their page.
Very helpful.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's that. So, another thing that I do when I'm inviting every single day is you'll start to notice, especially as you grow, the number of people or like the people who watch your stories. So if you want to know who's watching your stories, you click on your story and they're only up for 24 hours. So like I actually didn't go back and I should have invited people from the stories I did yesterday about the free group. But what I would do is I would go to if you click on seen by at the bottom, it pulls up and it shows you everybody who watched your stories. And so like, if you see that people are watching your stories a lot, even if like, I'll definitely start a relationship with them first, like start a conversation. But if they're watching my stories every single day, honestly, that's how a lot of you guys ended up here. I will just click like the little arrow beside their name, and I will, because whenever you click that arrow, it sends them the story that they watched, so they know that you know that they watched your story. And so like I will say, hey, thank you so much for following along my crazy hot mess life every single day. You know, I love encouraging and other women in faith and fitness. And I'll just straight up say, do you have any health and fitness goals yourself? Are you working out already too? Question mark. You know, like I say question mark. So like that's, I will directly invite people who are showing up in my feed every single day. So like, let's do that now. Do you guys have those people who've been watching your stories for a while, but they've never, like, you haven't invited them, or you haven't, like, or they just, I don't know, like, do you have those people that are watching your stories every day that you've never reached out to? Hey, Evelyn, I didn't see you on here. So for somebody like that, yes, inviting more. Okay, so for somebody who watches my stories all the time, I'm just going to type it in the chat bar and you guys can get it. But I would say something like, hey, whatever, Evelyn, I'm going to use Evelyn. Thank you so much for here every day. It's wild and crazy, but I love, and I'm very much myself. Like, it's not just like, hey, thanks for telling my story. Do you have any health and fitness goals? Like, I talk like I would talk to somebody I was sitting next to at church or something. But I would say it's wild and crazy, but I love my life. How are you holding up this week? Are you quarantined? Let's see, like I would make it personal. What would I say? Are you quarantined? Any ways? Let's see, what would I say? Oh, I'm blank now. Are you quarantined with kids too? Let's see. Still working out for my sanity. Do you have a workout or an outlet too? Okay, that's probably what I would say, just to start a conversation based on what's going on. So, hey, Evelyn, thanks so much for following my hot mess life here every day. It's wild and crazy, but I love my life. How are you holding up this week? Are you quarantined with kids too? I'm still working out for my sanity. Do you have a workout or an outlet too? Something like that. That was a little messy, but it would be something like that. Like, it would just be very personal. So I'm going to send that message right now to some people who are watching my stories that I haven't actually invited. And it's sort of an invite. It's not like a direct invite, but it opens the door for me to invite people. Is that Megan? Hey. I see your face. Okay. So that's what I'm going to send that message right now to a bunch of people watching my stories. If you guys have questions, like, ask me. Copy that so I can send it. And I always use the person's name, because there's so many bots out there. Like, I want them to know, like, hey, I know who you are, right? And obviously, like, if I don't go and look at their page and they don't even have kids, that would be a stupid message to send. So, like, always check their page before you send a message, okay?
I got an invite from a coach this week, and she was like, want to try some Energize? Like, I see you have kids so much. And I messaged her and I was like, girlfriend, I've already coached. And she was so embarrassed. But I'm like, it's so, like, I just felt bad. I saw that come through and I was like, oh, so do your research.
Yeah.
You know, person.
So, like, I have a lot of new eyes that people that I haven't really reached out to. So this is a very good, like, just straight up, like, direct message that I can, and they're watching my stories anyways, you guys. So like that is like eye contact. Like I would not speak to them. Does that make sense? I think that we're so afraid to invite people, but oh my gosh, like if you're bold about what you're doing, just say, hey, thanks for watching. Like, what are you up to this? I mean, you have a perfect conversation starter with the whole coronavirus. Okay. And if you need help, like we're going to transition some messages too. And it's really important too. I was having this conversation with somebody the other day. Never end it with, if you like more information, let me know. Don't do that. You always like ask a question. So like I asked a question about, are you quarantined with kids too? Like that was probably the question most people answer. But I also asked, like, do you have a workout or like something that's keeping you sane as well? So like I always end with a question. Are you guys good? Are y'all sending messages? Katie, what would you do if you have like 100 people who are watching your stories and you've asked them all? Go find some more people. Go follow some more people. Go start some new conversations. If you're following people every single day, if you are starting a new, at least, I mean, like honestly, at least one new conversation every day. When I mean not a new invite, I mean like building a relationship every day, you will never run out of people to talk to. You'll never run out of people. I operate by the if then. If you don't have anybody to start a conversation with, then you need to go find some new followers. If you don't have any new followers, then you need to go search some hashtags. You need to use some hashtags, you know, stalk your favorite influencer accounts. If you don't have anybody to invite, then you need to go build some new relationships with new followers. Does that make sense? So like maybe right now, if you don't have anybody to invite from your stories, then you need to go follow some people and start some conversations.
And I'll train people too. Like I am telling people right now, like, hey, I'm sharing a bunch of homeschooling tips this week in my stories. Like, or if I'm writing a post, I'm referencing that because I want people to go look at my stories. So sometimes you have to train your audience. Sorry, we're like making dinner here right now. To check those things too. And so like reference those back. And then if you don't have people, like Rachel said, go find hashtags, go look at people you follow that you really like, and go add all their friends. Like it's easy to find people, especially on Instagram. You can find honestly 20 people in 5 minutes super easily. They might not all follow you back, but you at least have somewhere to start with then.
Hey, and okay, here's another thing. You guys like keep sending these messages. But you know, if you get stopped, like then tell me. But Katie, another thing that I would do, like my next question for you, these people who keep watching your stories, are they people that you've invited and you've actually had a conversation with them, or they just like ghosted you? You can unmute yourself if you want to, because I see your arms are full.
Both.
Okay.
Yeah, I've had quite a few people be like, I'm interested, and then like even like, oh yeah, like they'll even get to like where we talk about price and stuff, and they'll be like, actually that's a really good price, like it's not even money, and they're just kind of like, but I just don't think it's for me right now. Or so I've had a ton of people like they're just like working out is just not my thing. Like they're like, I just won't do it.
Do you ask them why?
What was that?
Have you ever asked them why? Like, why do you think you won't work out? Why do you say that? Like, you know, like I would definitely push back on that. I'd be like, why do you say you're not gonna work out? Like,
I do too. Like I get not sassy, like I never get pushy and salesy, but like if someone's like, oh, I really want to get in shape and that is such a good deal, but I just won't do it because I know myself. And I'm like, well, what if I provide, like, what if you were in a community where I checked in with you every day? What would you want me to do every day? Like, I kind of call them out on their BS because a lot of times it's just them thinking they're not going to do it. And so if you've talked with them, my 2-year-old's gonna lose it here. Hold on.
Okay.
If you've already talked with them and you feel like you could follow up with them and just be like, hey girl, like I know we chatted last month or in February and life was crazy. I was just thinking about you again. I'm putting together this group. I'm so excited about it because we're focusing on, Katie, you're doing that faith-based group like and I just wanted to follow up with you because I know you can do this and I would love to do it with you. Like graciously re-invite them and try to figure out what the reason is, because 9 times out of 10, if it's not an immediate cost objection, it's just more of a fear of their ability to commit, and we can help them with that.
Yeah.
And that's a muscle they're going to flex, and perfection is required. And so when you can kind of get on their level and just be like, let's shoot straight, that helps. And you can kind of break down some barriers there. If that makes sense.
And I also fully believe at this point, people get excited about what you get excited about. So like if they're like, oh, working out is not for me, I'm like, girl, you got to try this 10-round sample workout. Like it is a kick butt workout and you will feel awesome after it. You want to at least try it and then let me know. Like the test group results are amazing. So that I would respond, like, I think that, like just getting really direct, I'm just like bossy pants, try the workout, like, and people, they don't know if they would enjoy it if they haven't tried it. That's a little, like just a little silly to me. So I get really pushy in a loving way. And so I've never had anybody be like, leave me alone. Like nobody's ever said that to me. So, but people get excited about what you get excited about. And then another thing is, here, I'm going to share this too while I'm talking, but another thing that I do, the reason I asked you, these are just other sample invites. So you guys use these as you want to, like if you don't need what I'm saying right now and you just want to be inviting, then go use these. But another reason I asked you that, Katie, is that I always like, I never ever get into like here's what the challenge group is about, here's what you need, until I've asked them what their goals are. So if someone tells me, yeah, tell me more about your challenge group, or Rachel, I want some more information about your group, I don't ever get into here's what it is. I always start with, well, tell me about you. Tell me what your goals are. Tell me what your struggles are right now, right? That's always my first question. So the conversation never moves forward into describing the group unless I know what their goals are. Why are you interested in this, right? So I have that information. And if I'm going and I'm looking through my stories and I'm looking at who's watching my stories, and that girl who kind of went silent on me or ghosted on me or tells me every month that she wants to join my group, like if she hasn't committed and she's still watching my stories, I'm going to message her from my stories and say, hey, Sasha, what's up? You ready to commit? Like, I know you had this goal of insert her goal, and I have that on the other side, but I am ready to help you get started. Okay. What's holding you back? Okay. I would be very direct and be like, what's holding you back? Right. And if she just says, oh, it's not for me, and that's it, like you just move on and you keep going. There are people out there that need that.
And I'll piggyback off that. Like if someone instantly is like, yeah, what's the cost? I don't tell them, because not that I'm ashamed. It is a phenomenal deal and I'm so proud of what we have to offer. But I'll say, there's a couple different package options that really vary. What are your goals? Like, let's chat. And I bring it back to what they are telling me. Mm-hmm. And then instantly like, well, I can't afford to pay for anything. I, again, like very kindly, but call their bluff a little bit because I haven't even told them the cost. And so oftentimes they'll be like, hey, I totally get that. When I started, we were broke because we were, but I was really surprised at how much money it saved me. And there are a bunch of different options for price points. Can I just shoot, like, do you want to know the information? And then usually when I call them out on that a little bit, they're like, oh, sure, send it over. And then I'll be like, perfect, I will do that. What are your goals? And we take it back to ground zero. So if I have to drag somebody, like, I'm sure you guys are all thinking of like the 3 people that just told you they're interested in ghost you every time. You have to let them go. Like I follow up with them, but don't count your chickens before they hatch. And don't
relationships.
3 people to like commit. You have to continually be on the offense in your business and continue to go reach out. And I know for a fact that like I will call BS on people in my conversations, and I will be like lovingly, not pushy, but like lovingly direct with what we have, like Rachel was saying, because I know some people are just afraid. But if it's someone who just is going to drag their feet, they're going to be a terrible challenger also. And I quite honestly don't want them in my group until they're ready, because it's going to give them such a bad taste in their mouth. and they're going to think that it failed when truly they just weren't ready to commit the work. So there's kind of a fine line of like calling someone on their BS because they're scared and they really do want to make changes and they're following you every day, and someone who just is really lazy, for lack of a better word. And we've had those, if that makes sense. The light is like really weird.
All right. So do you guys need this screen? Have you guys sent some good invites or some solid invites? Is anybody like, I don't know what I need to be doing right now? This is definitely an action call. Okay. All right. So I will move on. And we've already honestly kind of talked about this just now. But now I want you guys to follow up. So if you haven't been inviting at all and you don't have anybody to follow up with, then go back to the invites and go send some more invites, follow some people, like check those things on your BAT right now before we get off this call. But like if you have invited some people and you are tracking, right, in Streak or a notebook or in your planner or your business activity tracker or whatever, like now I want you guys to go back and follow up with some people who haven't actually committed, just like what we were just talking about, right? And so, you know, Abby and I, we are farther into this, and some of you guys may be as well. I have a couple of different places that I follow up with. I do track in Teamsy, so I'm always looking at those people I've had those conversations with. Before, I used to just do it in my tracker, so I would flip back a couple of days or a week or two and see who had invited, who hadn't responded. Or, you know, like if you're making a Google Streak, like a pipeline for 10 rounds or whatever in Streak, go invite those people, say, hey, 10 rounds launched today. Are you ready to sign up? You know, it can be that simple. But I was talking to, I think it was Beth. I hope she doesn't mind that I share this. I don't think she will. But, you know, I was asking her about following up with people, and I asked her what message that she sent. And she had sent these people some information, and she just said, let me know what you think. And that's why I said, and never, ever, ever leave an open-ended conversation. Like it always needs to end with a question. So, you know, somebody might respond back and say, I'm not going to say, hey, what did you think about the challenge group information? I'm going to follow up with somebody and I'm going to say, hey, are you ready to sign up? I saw that you read my email. You've got all the information. What questions do you have? Or are you just ready to go ahead and sign up, right? So it's going to be very, very direct, very call to action, but it also, a lot of times people are quiet or they're not responding because they don't understand everything. They don't know what to do next. You wouldn't believe how many people don't know what to do next after you send them all the information about the challenge group, even though the email says it. And then a lot of people are worried about money, or they don't have the money right now, or they're waiting on the money. Or, you know, like Abby said earlier, just old fears creep in. Like, what if I commit to this and I don't stick with it? I've started everything and I'm not stuck with anything, right? So just open the door by following up for them to express those concerns or fears or whatever it might be. And your conversion rate from invite to sale is going to go way up. I guarantee you people aren't hitting Success Club because they're not following up boldly with a direct call to action. All right. So this is just an example, like I shared earlier. Hey, I haven't been able to quit thinking about helping you get started. Your desire to whatever their goal was is powerful. I'm so ready to help you go. So I sent all the info. It looks like you opened it. Do you have any questions, concerns? You want to talk out, or are we ready to get your sign up started? Okay. I send that message a lot. So do you guys have people to follow up with that you can send that to?
One thing too for you guys is I used to work in sales, and exactly what Rachel said of never ending on just like a generic question. The other thing that's really, really helpful to do is to tell them their next step. Like, customers need you. You are the expert. You are the boss. Like, you tell them the process. You tell them the next step, whatever it is, fill out the application, respond back to like their next literal baby step, and then also give them a date. Like, I'm going to check in with you in 3 days, or our group starts next week and I need to save your spot. Like, even if you need to make up a little bit of a faux deadline, because people need that sense of urgency, and oftentimes they are not ignoring you. They just get busy and forget, and you are not top of mind for them because their kids are crying and the coronavirus is happening, like life hits. And so when you give them a really clear next step and kind of a date, like a time frame, it leaves the door wide open for you to follow up without feeling bad at all. because they know, oh, I didn't do this by Friday or 3 days have passed. And you can absolutely be like, hey, I told you I'd check in, just checking in again. And it makes it not feel spammy or salesy at all. So feel bad, like position yourself as the authority because you are, and be confident about that.
Another thing I say too here, it says, remember your start, you know, like it's very, very, I would say like personal and comforting. Like if you were to message back and send this message and say, I remember how scared I was to start, and I don't want you to feel that way, or I can, you know, whatever, like just remember how you felt like before you actually committed to a challenge group. Like what were your fears? Imagine what other people are thinking. Because I think that a lot of times we get on this side of it and we're like, oh, I just want somebody to buy a challenge pack and join this challenge group. Like I talked about it till I'm blue in my face. But we forget that it's a person on the other end of that message. It's a person who has fears and concerns and money problems and, you know, whatever, just like we did when we started. So that's something to keep in mind as you are inviting and following up. I'm going to let you guys follow up for a little bit. I have to brag on my boys. They're in there watching TV and they're being so good, but I hear them giggling. It's making me laugh.
Oh my gosh, Rachel, I just have to say real quick that story you posted today of Henry doing the cat litter. Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. I told him I didn't do it.
I died. It was so funny
We were dying too. We were dying too.
because that would totally be Eric.
He gagged.
Oh my gosh, it's
Hey.
hilarious.
This is Milo. Do you want to say hello? Did y'all finish the story?
What?
I mean, the movie?
No, he changed it. Wait, guys.
Let's see what I have next. Okay, I have some other examples of follow-ups. All right, let's see. Okay, so you guys said you were inviting to the Sweat for Sanity, right? Quite a few you guys did. I know that a couple of my girls are. So I made those stories last night, and that's something really easy to put, especially in a Facebook post. So if you haven't done that yet, like made a Facebook post about it, just talked about like Megan and I were talking about today about how, you know, like she's like, it's so crazy. Like I'm at home and I'm supposed to be at school, and like I'm working out when I feel like I should be at school, and life is just nuts. And I said, yes, but you know, you can actually like talk about how you life is crazy and you don't know what's going to happen next, but like you actually can control the controllable, right? So like you can control what you put in your mouth. You can control if you choose to work out or not. And so just putting that positivity and that hope and that fact out there, like by sharing your story, is a really easy and good way to talk about the Sweat for Sanity group. And that group, honestly, you guys, like I really feel like those people who join that group are going to be our April challengers. So like you have to see that as an investment into your business. Just do it consistently. Like I will probably before I go to bed, like do a little like boomerang of me checking into that group today and talk about it again. But like in Facebook, when you make a post on Facebook, if you type @ and Sweat for Sanity, it'll actually link your group, or unless you want to put the little Facebook link there. But you'll be surprised if you talk about it in Facebook, how many people will click that link and ask to join. Okay. So be bold about doing that. That is a free service. Like no strings attached in any way. They don't have to create an account. They don't have to do anything. They just like got to join the group and do the stuff. Right. So, definitely like if you made stories about that, like Megan, you did this morning, I think, and like go back through those people tonight and then again in the morning, because you'll have more viewers tomorrow. Go invite those people. If they watched your stories, send them a message and be like, I'm so excited about this. Like, this is just something, this is a way I can give back as a coach. Like, do you have a workout program you're doing? Or are you like, is your gym closed? I would love for you to join this community. So like, I'm just going to keep inviting people to that, honestly, for the next week at least. Does that make sense?
I am because I'm doing the same thing as Rachel. I am checking in with those girls every day. Like I am serving them hardcore behind the scenes. Like, hey, even if I didn't see them check into the group. And then I'm doing a couple little prize drawings. And I also have an email sent out every morning to them with the link to the free workout in case they're not checking in the Facebook group as well. So really trying to serve and talk that group up every single day. Every person who told me no, got an invite to that. Like I'm sending it in my emails every single day, just serving people. So don't be afraid. Like that's the easiest thing in the world to invite to.
Yeah.
So plug them in and leave them high and dry. Go love on them a lot. And then I also posted in my challenge group that if they had any family or friends that wanted to get plugged in, they could plug them in there as well. And I've had a few girls add some people. So don't forget about like your current people. It could turn them into coaches, quite honest, which is kind of cool.
So you said you email them every morning. You just email them what the workout is?
Yeah, I can show you what I sent today. Let me pull it up here. I did it in Flowdesk, but I mean, you guys can use, I know Flowdesk, but you can use Gmail. It doesn't have. I just know I'm finding it really quick here. I just know I have some girls who are only on Instagram, and so they're just they just got emails and they didn't click to join the group. So this is what I'm sending. So I'm doing this every morning, and I just linked the Vimeo link, and I was just like, here's your workout, here's what you need. I linked the Facebook group in here as well, and I shared, some of my favorite tips on homeschooling in case you're stuck with your kids. There was nothing in there. And then I'll do the same thing tomorrow. I'll be like, here's today's workout, here's the tip of the day, how are you? Just kind of consistently feeling like any way that I can reach them in some form will be helpful. So that's all I'm doing. I can share this with you, Rachel, if you want. You're fine.
No, that's okay. That's good. I didn't put like a workout calendar in there. Maybe I should have. I don't know. But I'm just kind of like, I'm gonna drop a video link in the post every day.
I did a calendar. I can share it with you, but it was something
from the Dynasty thing. I saw the thing from the Dynasty. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the day that's the work, I'm gonna give them 2 because some people I know won't be able to handle the full intent.
Yeah. Okay. All right. All right, you guys. Like, how was this productive? Did you send some new invites, follow-ups? Yeah. Yes. Good. Okay. Now let's open questions. Like, who has questions about any of that? Or do you have anybody responding and you're like, I don't know how to respond to this?
That's me in my first couple of like converting a conversation into a sale. And then they say they're interested, and you're like, oh my gosh, they're interested. What do I do? Because it's the people outside of mom, sister, husband, then that person, and you're like, ah.
That is scary. Like, that is really scary because you're like, how do I not turn this person away? Right. So have you had some people say that like tonight, or do you need help with that tonight?
I think I figured it out, but I had printed out something, and I was just like going back to my file. I'm like,
Yeah.
read. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
You know.
So if somebody tells me they're interested, like Abby, and she said this too, I just always start with awesome. Like, I can't wait to share more about it. But first, tell me about you. I think that lady on the National Wake Up Call recently was like, those are the two most powerful words in your business. Tell me, like asking about them. So yeah, that's where I always start. And the conversation, honestly, sometimes it's hard, but if you can get people talking about what their goals are, like before you even present anything, like they are so much more likely to follow through because they're connected to their why. Like if you say out loud, I need to lose 30 pounds by like July because I have a wedding or whatever, or, if I don't drop 20 pounds, I'm going to have to get on blood pressure medicine. Like you'd be amazed at what some people share with you guys. Like we are really and truly, this is a beautiful business. So like, but if somebody tells me they're interested, I invite them. I say, okay, I can't wait to share more, but tell me about you first. Like, what are your goals right now? Are you struggling with anything specifically? And just start there. And then I work through some more questions like, are you working out? Or what's your favorite workout? Or what's worked really well in the past? That type of thing. But, after a few questions like that and getting them talking, it's really simple to just transition it to, hey, I think this challenge group, this boot camp would be amazing for you. Can I email you some more details about how it works and how you can get plugged in? And then you get their email, you track it somewhere, you have a Google Sheet or something, you're tracking that, and you send them the information about the email. And if you can't find that a couple of times, like don't hesitate to ask because we have it.
Yeah, the one person that I talked to tonight is a husband that is doing it for his wife, and he's like, I know my wife would love this, and it's so sweet. It's my husband's friend getting his wife, and they both have started losing weight, and so it was just very sweet how I'm talking to the husband like it's really sweet.
That is sweet. That is sweet. You should, if they follow through, you should come up with a sweet way to talk about that, like shout him out or something. Yeah. And so too, like, I don't, like at first I was talking to my husband, I was like, I don't know what this whole coronavirus thing is going to do for our business. I really can't worry about it. I just got to keep doing my job and get creative. But I was like, I don't know if like come April, like people will be out of work and they won't be able to spend money. But like right now, like I think people are sitting at home and they want to talk and they want to do something. So like, if you're off work this week, I know kids are crazy and if you do have kids at home or whatever, but like if you're off work this week, like use that time to be yourself, to put content out there, to start conversations, to invite people to follow up, because like people are sitting there like twiddling their thumbs, and exercise makes everybody happy.
And you guys like commit 100% to your program right now. I don't care if you're doing 10 rounds or bar or whatever it is, but like if it's quiet for you, go get the best results you've ever gotten the next 3 weeks and share about that, because it's really easy to invite when you feel awesome.
That's true. That is really true. All right. So you guys, anybody else have questions? Good? Good? All right. Well, I look forward to seeing the fruit of your labor from tonight. I'm going to say a prayer and then we'll let you guys go. Okay? All right, God, thank you so much for tonight. Thank you that we're here, that we're safe, that we have a business that we can work from home or from anywhere, God, and especially that we have a business that we can get on here and chat about and talk about and help each other with, God. I just pray that you would please go, like I said before this call, like go before these conversations, go before these messages, the content that we put out there, and please move in the hearts of women who need this, just like we needed it so long ago, God. And I just pray that you would bless these conversations, make these women bold inviting and closing sales and getting people plugged into our challenge groups, God. And I just pray that you would use us to spread hope and joy this week in a world that seems so uncertain, God. Just help us to trust you, plug into you, and find our joy in you every single day. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. All right, guys. Good night. See you later.